There they go, most of them blissfully unaware of the possible repercussions that may be lurking behind the joy of these sports. They are putting themselves at risk for a condition so minimized by coaches, peers, and community that the players do not even consider the consequences or restrictions of the trauma. A potentially devastating condition completely misrepresented by insufficient information and personal motives. Welcome to the world of concussions. The road is bumpy, the lights are bright, and that pounding in your head lasts way more than one night.
A concussion is a traumatic brain injury resulting from the rapid acceleration or deceleration of brain tissue within the skull. Rapid movement causes the brain tissue to change shape, it can stretch, and damage brain cells. This damage also causes chemical and metabolic changes within the brain cells, making it more difficult for cells to function and communicate.
My name is Judge Gurla, and I got my concussion my freshman year. I don't remember it, but I know it happened. So it was a match. I remember going out to wrestle. All right. I remember shaking my opponent's hand and the referee giving us the okay to wrestle. I shot in, and then after that, I don't remember anything. What I'm told happened was he took my head and then smashed it right into the mat. I went face first and blacked out. I felt nauseated. I felt dizzy. It wasn't hard to move, but I just didn't want to move. My body just felt exhausted. I was out for a month and a half, and it was probably the worst month and a half of my life. I couldn't do anything involving lights because I would get a headache, and it was a bad headache. I still slur my words. I don't think coaches educate at all, really. They know what to do with concussions if you get one, or they'll know how to help you, but if you get one, that's when they start taking the process and start telling you what to do. I've never had a coach talk to me before my concussion about concussions. And I don't want to say it's easy to get one, but it's always a surprise when you get one. You think you can't get it until it happens. And I think we need to look very, very closely towards concussions and examine them.
I'm Abby Orth, and I got my concussion last spring. We were playing our fourth soccer game. We were against Smithville, and a girl was 5 feet in front of me, and she took a shot on goal, and I got it right to the face. I was really sensitive to light and sounds. I had headaches all the time. I had trouble focusing too, really bad. I did vestibular therapy. It's physical therapy for your brain, and so I just had that for about a month. And they just do a bunch of testing for your eyes and a bunch of stuff that makes your brain have to really think. And then I eventually got cleared. I've been pretty okay with everything else. Just during it, I couldn't play soccer the rest of the season, and then school was hard. I couldn't focus, and with lights and sounds, when you're in a high school, there's a lot of lights and a lot of sounds, and so just focusing and academically, it was bad, and I had bad grades for a little bit, but then it got better, and we're good now.
Hi, I'm Samuel Slaughter, and I got my concussion September 19th of 2016. It was on play versus Maryville. Our quarterback got his pass intercepted, and I was running back to try to tackle him, and I didn't really have a chance to get him, but someone came behind me, pushed me down to the ground from behind without me expecting it. I didn't really black out. I had a moment that I can't really remember, and then next thing I remember is two Maryville players asking me if I was okay, if I needed help up, and I said yes, and then I went to the sideline, and then not the next play, but the next play after that, I went off for the kickoff, and it's just a running play. I was in shape, so it shouldn't have been a problem. It was a kick return, and then I come to the sideline to one of my coaches, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm out of breath," and he kind of just looked at me, kind of almost rolled his eyes at me, and went to one of the other coaches, ones I was more friends with, and was like, just kind of like pointing his head towards me, and he's like, just go sit down. And pretty much the end of the game, and I didn't get a headache probably until that bus ride home. Pretty severe headaches, memory loss, just not knowing what I'm doing, forgetting stuff. My ability to sleep was not great. I would stay up because I couldn't fall asleep because of my headaches. I probably wouldn't go to sleep until like 12 at night. When you've had it as long as I did, it makes you kind of reinvent yourself because you can't always do what you've always done, and that kind of changes your perspective. And so throughout this whole process, I have searched for what I am after football, and that's kind of a hard transition. Before this, I'm always very hesitant to make decisions and not sure on my decisions. Like, what a concussion shows you is that it doesn't matter how much time has passed, you're gonna probably have the same result. It makes me feel like I can take more chances because I might not have the opportunity to take the chance again. Well, it's kind of a difficult subject, I think. But I think there's a lot of ignorance that comes with a concussion. And I don't blame people for having that ignorance because they don't know the repercussions of the concussion. I get it's not an easy subject to grasp when you haven't had one, but I would want more awareness. I don't know that I would change anything right now just because of all the things I've gone through. It wouldn't be like right before, just telling myself not to quit, but kind of to enjoy it while it lasts, and not to just think that I'm going to have more chances after this to do this. So I would tell myself to always give 100% because you don't have forever. I'd probably tell myself not to quit baseball because it's a passion that I love. But there's not something I would just change because I've had such an amazing journey.
I think if you talk to Sam, he'll tell you that the kid that got that concussion is different. This injury has impacted Sam in a lot of ways, and not only physically, on his mental health, social relationships. I hope that he will take something good out of the injury with education and help others, as we know that prevention is the only cure for concussions. So that's our goal here. And also as Sam's family, we have been here for Sam. We have walked side by side with Sam for this entire journey. We can't be Sam. We can't be in his shoes. We can't take away that pain. We can't feel what he feels, but we have been here to support him. And that has not always been an easy journey in and of itself. I'm very proud of Sam. He is a fighter. He has never given up throughout all the challenges and the discomfort. He's gotten up every day and tried to make that day the best day that he could.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Slaughter, and I'm a registered nurse. I'm currently pursuing my doctorate degree to work as a nurse practitioner, and I'm also Sam's mom. I'm here to talk to you today about concussion prevention and education. It's difficult to manage an injury we can't see. Concussions are especially dangerous when they're not recognized, especially in the case of repeated injuries. Education is critical and can mean the difference between life and death. Any athlete suspected to have suffered a concussion should be removed from play immediately. And all concussions, regardless of severity, are serious injuries and require immediate treatment by experienced healthcare professionals. As we've talked about, recognizing a concussion is critical. All athletic staff should receive specific training, and research shows that when they do, concussions are recognized at a higher rate and athletes have better outcomes. The only known cure for concussions is prevention. We can't go back in time and prevent Sam's injury, but we can go forward and educate and prevent other athletes from suffering this very serious, life-changing injury.